The Nazification of the West. Ukraine used as the perfect tool. The brainwashed flock of the West always believe what they are told. Those of us who are still cleaving to our sanity remember the Nazis were members of Hitler's National Socialist Party from the 1930s and 1940s. Not only were there thousands of Nazis in Western Ukraine back then, it is still a big part of their national pride. I learned about Stepan Bandera in the final years of my 11-year Saturday Ukrainian school education. I clearly do not remember any details, but I remember the name Stepan Bandera. Of course, I was not taught that in fact he was a Nazi war criminal, yet he is to this day a national hero. There are actual Nazi organizations such as the Right Sector still thriving in Ukraine, including the Azov Regiment, which is now part of Ukraine's armed forces. The Nazification of Ukraine is well documented and easily verified, as is the Nazification of America. Many notable Americans supported the Nazis, such as Prescott Bush, Henry Ford, and Fred Koch. Banks such as J.P. Morgan and Chase Manhattan. Companies such as General Motors, Standard Oil, Shell, and IBM. After World War II, only a dozen or so were brought to justice at the Nuremberg trials. The Catholic Church and the Vatican helped thousands of Nazis evade capture via the rat lines, which brought them mostly to South America, where they built an entire town in Argentina. In Operation Paperclip, the United States secretly absorbed thousands of Nazis into the US government, where they led the NASA space program and helped pioneer the military-industrial complex as well as Big Pharma. Many believe that being Nazi is synonymous with anti-Jewish. This may have been true in the 30s, but it's complicated. Numerous studies suggest that high-ranking Nazis, including Hitler, were Ashkenazi Jews from the Khazar Empire. For a lot of historical details, please view my 2 videos on the Khazars. Occult History of the Diabolical Mafia Khazar Part 1 and the Occult Story of the Diabolic Mafia Khazar Part 2. The Ashkenazi Jews can be traced back to the notorious Khazars, who mysteriously mass converted to Judaism about 1300 years ago in the region now known as Ukraine. Ashkenazi Jews ran the political Zionist movement in Germany. For years, the Zionists were the only political party allowed to operate inside Germany by the Nazis. Both the Zionists and the Nazis wanted their own ethnically pure state. For years before their final solution, the Nazis helped the Zionists in their effort to establish the State of Israel within Palestine. It was far more complicated than mere racial hatred. Nazism can best be described as fascism, and fascism is godlessness. The word Nazi is a made-up slur. However, the word fascist can be clearly defined. It stems from the Latin word fascis, which is a bundle of sticks bundled together to form a deadly weapon. An old school meme that represents the deadly power of an organized mob, a gang. When man lacks a personal relationship with God, they inevitably band together out of fear, submitting to the strong man for a small taste of dominance. They become just another beast in the jungle. Today, we can clearly see this fascist mentality in all of these godless groups: the woke, the Satanists, the transhumanists, and the genocidal mass murderers of the Great Reset are all merging together into one giant fascist. Godless men and women banded together out of fear. Fascists serving the strong man. Spiritually speaking, these are the weakest among us, and so far, we are allowing them to destroy everything. DSG has been disseminating the truth for years. There is one soul conflict, separation. Therefore, there is also only one solution: union. Separation of what? Union of what? The separation between me and myself. And therefore, I must create the union of my body with my soul. Separation is all around us. Evil is using separation to keep people in complete ignorance of who they are, because, as I have mentioned in this video, they are so weak and full of fear. They must band together and keep us separated. They have no individualized soul. Only humans have an individualized soul. Aliens and other species only have a deva, which is a collective species soul. However, we must remember that everything in creation comes from spirit. The spirit spark is in every single creation, from a one-celled organism to the human. However, only the human has an individualized soul, and therefore only the human has free will. The ability to make an individual decision and choose its soul, or choose ego, which is the collective hive mentality under the governance of the collective ego. I received this video from a very personal connection. I'm saddened every time I'm placed in front of the normie ignorance. The separation energy of this Ukrainian song and the hatred it is trying to spread towards all Russians is extremely difficult for me to accept. I no longer identify with any labels: Ukrainian, Canadian, dentist, mother, daughter, sister, wife. I am infinite love, Diestati. The images in this video are projecting the negative message, but I provided the translation. My only responsibility is to continue my journey of growing in consciousness and creating a stronger bond with my soul, the only true couple that exists, me with myself. Infinite love.
Москалівського Кремля. схожі на Бандеру і не зможуть по-кацапськи розмовлять. А ще в нас на озброєнні гуси, вони в небі літаки таранять всі, мітять влучно голуби піхоту руських, потім кучно серуть градом горобці. Бійтесь, суки, бо у нас на Україні навіть в миші офіцерське є звання. В лісі й полі, під землею і на небі ненавидять усім серцем москаля.
It is up to us not to comply, yet have compassion towards others no matter where they are at on their evolutionary path of consciousness. Every day I must reinforce my resolve to move forward on my evolutionary path towards the new species. From hell on earth to paradise on earth. We are building what many said was impossible. The evolution of how we create and travel starts here. Please consider joining us in our consciousness community at the edge of the town of Popayan in southern Colombia. This is an invitation for long-term stay at Cascada Café Retiro in Colombia. The insanity continues to intensify, and there is no end in sight. I believe that now there are individuals who are ready to leave their country of origin, but just don't know where to start. There is absolutely nowhere to hide. Having said that, in Popayan there is good food growth throughout the year. The temperate mountain climate is 22 to 26 degrees Celsius during the day and 13 to 18 degrees Celsius at night. And it is like this all year round, which makes life very comfortable here. Please share this information with your friends and loved ones. Uprooting yourself is certainly not for everyone. I have the possibility of making this difficult process just a little bit easier. There is a guest house for long-term stay while you're looking for property of your own. Pets are welcome, and there is internet. The airport, the bus station, and the city are only 13 kilometers away. Will you join us in this paradise on earth? We welcome all conscious individuals. If your soul is pushing you forward, please consult www.freedomtravelalliance.com. I consult by phone and offer tools so that you can find your individual solution by making contact with your soul. Please share my videos so that this information can reach the people who need it. My contact details are in the description below, as well as the link to Cascada Café Retiro and my website. Finally, please subscribe to my other 3 channels, BitChute, Odyssey, and Crowdbunker. All of my videos are not available on YouTube. Infinite love.